The sun, relentless, blinding. It beat down on the wreckage of the city, turning dust to haze. The air hung heavy, thick with the stench of decay and the metallic tang of blood. Buildings, once proud and defiant, were now jagged teeth against the skyline. Their insides spilled out onto the streets. This was not a city anymore. It was a graveyard of memories, a monument to destruction. Every shattered window, every toppled minaret, every scorched car chassis whispered a tale of violence and loss. A small team of rescuers picked their way through the debris. Their faces were grim, etched with fatigue and the horrors they had witnessed. They were a mismatched bunch: aid workers, firefighters, even ordinary citizens forced into extraordinary circumstances. But they shared a common purpose: to find survivors, to claw back some semblance of hope from the jaws of despair. Each one carried the weight of countless lives on their shoulders, each step a prayer against the crushing reality around them. The silence was unnerving, broken only by the crunch of rubble underfoot and the distant clatter of a helicopter. It was the silence of absence, of lives extinguished, of futures stolen. The rescuers moved with a grim determination, their eyes scanning the wreckage for any sign of life. The air was thick with dust, making it hard to breathe, but they pushed on, fueled by adrenaline and a sliver of hope. Twisted metal, shattered concrete, splintered wood. The debris field stretched out before them like a macabre jigsaw puzzle, each piece a reminder of the violence that had ripped through this place, leaving scars that ran deeper than any physical wound. The rescuers moved cautiously, aware that every step could be their last. The ground was unstable, riddled with hidden crevasses and treacherous mounds of rubble. Yet they pressed on, their resolve unwavering. Every second counts. Time was the enemy. Every passing minute decreased the chances of finding survivors. The rescuers worked with a frantic energy, their movements honed by years of training and the knowledge that lives hung in the balance. They used heavy machinery to move larger pieces of debris, their faces illuminated by the eerie glow of floodlights. The air crackled with tension as they strained to hear any cry for help, any sign that someone, somewhere, might still be alive. The language of humanity. Amidst the desolation, there were glimpses of humanity. A hand reaching out from beneath a collapsed roof, a faint cry for help, a child's shoe, a poignant reminder of the innocence lost. These were the moments that kept the rescuers going, that fueled their determination. In a place stripped bare of hope, these small acts of resilience served as flickering candles in the darkness. Beneath the rubble, a heartbeat, a shout, a flurry of activity. A stretcher appeared, carried by exhausted but triumphant rescuers. A survivor, pulled from the wreckage, clinging to life. A testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit. The crowd, weary and heartbroken, erupted in cheers. It was a moment of light in the overwhelming darkness, a flicker of hope in the face of despair. A reminder that even in the heart of destruction, life somehow finds a way. Scars that time can't heal. The sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the ruins. The rescue efforts would continue throughout the night, driven by the knowledge that every life saved was a victory against the odds. But the scars of this day, like the scars on the city itself, would run deep. Long after the rescuers had gone, long after the rubble had been cleared, the memory of this day would linger, a haunting reminder of the fragility of peace and the enduring strength of the human spirit. A glimmer in the darkness. The work was far from over. The crisis was vast, the needs overwhelming. But in the heart of the destruction, amidst the rubble and the grief, there was a glimmer of hope. The hope that comes from knowing that even in the darkest of times, humanity endures. The rescuers, their faces etched with fatigue and sorrow, knew this. They had seen the worst of humanity, but they had also witnessed its best. And they would continue to fight, to hope, to rebuild, one life, one breath, one day at a time. The